Hey everyone, I'm Steve. This is the American Garage.
This time, on the American Garage, Steve reassembles the David Bradley garden tractor and brings the project to a successful completion, right here on the American Garage.
Welcome back to the American Garage. As you can see, we've got all the parts painted for the tractor. So today is about assembly. So it's time to put the tractor back together. Ready? Let's get started. Notice how we kept all of our parts organized on the shelf so we wouldn't lose anything. Alright everybody, so the first thing that I'm going to need to do is put the transmission back into the handlebars. Now, I left the paper on the axles because it'll do two things. It'll help protect the pieces as we're putting it together. Since it's bare metal, I won't get all my fingerprints and make it rust. So we'll pull that off after we're finished putting the tractor together. Okay, now I have my transmission mounts. Now remember when we took these off? Now they go on right here, holding the David Bradley on this notch to keep the transmission from moving back and forth. You see, we've got these little grooves where I had slid the transmission between the bars. See how they made it to go together real nicely? That's part of American ingenuity back in the 50s. They really made stuff good and strong and rugged. And here we are 50 years later, putting it back together. Okay, now we have gotten our transmission installed. We've got all of our transmission mounts tightened up nicely. So we've got these two pieces solid together. It's time for us to put the engine mount on. I'm going to take this piece right here, cotter pin here, and I'm going to swivel this around. What this piece does right here is it ties the engine mount and the transmission together so that there's more strength. Now I've got to get my bolts to put the engine mount to the handlebar. Alright, now I've got the 4 bolts installed, but they're loose right now. And we're going to leave them a little bit loose for the time being. Do you notice how this one has this mechanism over here? And what this mechanism does is it tightens the belt. See, the engine's going to sit right here, and the pulley's going to be right here, and then there's the belt. So as we tighten this up, it'll pull the engine forward and make the belt tighter. Okay, we're finished with here for the time being. Next, I want to put my throttle on the handlebar up here. I thought gray would look better than just painting everything red. Give it a little contrast. Ready to roll. Okay, so let's move on to the next part. We're going to put the gasoline tank mount on next. Now, on the original, the straps were painted red. I thought they might look good in green. A little more accent. What do you think? You like it? Good deal. You'll notice behind me, I don't know if any of you noticed, but I've organized the shelves. I've kept them organized. It's made the project go much smoother. Always have a place to keep all your parts. Keep them organized and ready to go so you have everything at your fingertips. Okay? So, let me come on over here. You can see a little better. This is my gas cap, and it's got this little this piece of wire, it's springy wire, and what it does, keeps it from falling in. We went to Don's Radiator Shop down in LaPorte, Texas, and on Underwood. And Don and his crew there, they're experts at handling stuff like this. So what they did is they used chemicals to clean out the inside of the gas tank, and then they coated the inside of the tank with a coating, so now it won't rust. Now we've got to put the hubs back together. These are the units that hold the wheels on the axle, and they're really heavy steel, and we've got them all repainted. I've got this little fitting, so we'll take the fittings out of there. I kept them in plastic bags. Keep everything organized, right? That's our motto. So I'll set those aside. Actually, we've come back to the place where we can put those back in their holes. We'll get rid of the bag, and we'll just put this right back in its hole. And we'll get these turned in. I'll just get them started. There's one on there. So these are the outer hubs. That's what the wheels actually bolt to. And here's the inner hub, and this is the part that's going to slide on the axle. It's got a little groove in it so that it fits in there's a little metal piece that fits on the groove so it won't turn once it's on the axle. So this part turns with the axle. We've got them painted up real nice. Now, we've got this little spring and this little lever. And this goes in here like this. And I'll put the spring in. And now, we'll put some grease in there to keep it well lubricated, because it's going to sit there and move like that. And I'm going to run some on the inside of this hole here. And I'll just get it all coated with my finger real nice. When it comes to greasing axles, don't be shy, especially with parts like this. And here, so I'm going to take this piece, we're going to slide it right on top, and I'm going to hold this little lever in. Put that together. This one slide together a whole lot easier. Oh, I'll get my fingers caught. There we go. Wipe off the excess on the outside. Alright, now we're ready to put the hubs back on the axle. So I'm going to go ahead and take this paper off now. It's good to have it on there while I was handling everything. Now it's time for it to come off. Alright, so I'm going to put these back in their place on the axles. You don't want to hit it too hard. Okay, because if you hit it really hard, you can damage things, but if you just do a series of taps, of not so hard taps, you'll accomplish the same thing. There we are. Now we're flush with the outside of the axle. Okay, now we're ready for the next part. And there's that sound, David Bradley click, that we're all familiar with and they're famous for. So it's starting to look like a tractor, as you can see. It won't be long now. Nearing completion. We got our belt on now and tensioned up, and we're tightening everything down. Here's our hood installed. Looks great, doesn't it? Okay, now I had taken the hood off the tractor because I want to put the stickers on. Now, so we can get a nice professional look, I had ordered online some vinyl decals. I got these from John, so if you need stickers, just ask John. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to mount these kind of vinyl decals or stickers. Now they come with material on both sides of them. And so what we're going to do is we're going to first just line it up and we'll tape it in place on the top. And then we'll fold it back, we'll peel the bottom off to reveal the adhesive, and then we're going to stick it down. Now the first thing that we're going to need to do is to make sure that our surface is extremely clean. So I'm going to use some isopropyl alcohol and a clean paper towel, and I'm going to wipe the letter area where it's going to be installed. I'm going to take my first set of letters, the name David here, and I'm going to make sure that I line it up exactly. I've got to line it up both vertically and horizontally. So what I'm going to do is I'll take a piece of tape and I'm going to place these exactly where they need to be. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a hinge with a piece of tape along the top of the whole decal. Now that's going to allow us to flip the letters up and still keep everything right in place. Okay, now you can see that I've got my everything in place. Now, putting on vinyl letters can be very forgiving at this stage of the game. But once you pull the backing off and stick it down, that's it. Okay, so you got to get this right the first time. So take your time and make sure you've got it in the exact right place. Now here's a little trick that I did to try to make it easier on myself. Well, you know, I put this piece of tape across the bottom here. So what I did is I marked at the beginning of the two D's. And then I put a mark at the beginning of the two D's on my my paper around the decal. Then I lined those two up, and it made it for a very easy lineup. I also made some marks on the ends to tell me exactly where the top of this tape or the bottom of the letters is. Now, if I did everything right, then I should be able to peel the backing off, lay it down, and everything should be right. Okay? So let's find out how well I did. Now, let me clean the letters one more time. I'm going to double check one more time, make sure my marks are still lined up. And we're going to take a plastic squeegee and I'm going to lift it up backwards and I'm going to squeegee the back of it. We want to make sure that the letters are stuck on the front side really well at this point. So I'll just rub them down, make sure everything's good. Now it's ready. I'll pull off the backing. very carefully. We pull it away. Now, as I go down, I'm going to look at it before I actually stick it and make sure it looks like it's lining up. And it's looking pretty good. So I'm going to go with my squeegee, and I'm going to start in the middle at the top, and I'm going to work down and away from the center. We'll squeegee it really good while the release film is still on it. And now I'm going to very carefully peel back very slowly. I'm going to check and make sure my letters are sticking to the hood and staying in place. And there we are. There's no way I could have painted those on there with a hand brush. No way. And not have them look like this. That is beautiful, isn't it? So, this is something you can do as well. See how easy it was? Boom, we're done. Okay? I got to do the other 3 sets of stickers. So let me get busy on the next set real quick. But that's how it's done. And now you can see our David Bradley. The hood is ready for its final installation. Oh, there you are. Well, today's the last day on the David Bradley project. So remember, we just finished putting the letters on the hood, so now we're going to put the hood back on the tractor, take it outside and run it. You ready? Let's get busy. This is the last piece going on. There's one. And there's 2. All right. Works great. Okay. Now, before we take it outside and run it, let's not forget to put gas and oil in the tractor. Of course, we don't want to take it and run it without any oil in it. Let's put oil in the tractor. Okay, now it's ready. Let's take it outside and run it. Well, we have our brand new reconditioned 1949 David Bradley garden tractor finished now. Now we started with a pile of junk, and we've wound up with this great tool that we can use in the garden. We'll do plowing, cultivating, other yard work that we see fit. Now, don't forget to share your projects with us here on the American Garage. Send me pictures and emails. Let me know what you're building in your garage. You don't really know what will come out of your garage, so get in there and start working. Until next time, thanks for coming to the American Garage.
Steve has successfully completed the David Bradley project with great results. Stay in tune with the American Garage at www.theamericangarage.net and watch for the announcement of the next project. Do you have an idea for a new project? Submit it to the American Garage online and perhaps your project could be featured on an installment of The American Garage.